And, we are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. Yesterday we heard Parikshit Maharaj told to Kali Maharaj, who was beating cow and bull. So Parikshit Maharaj wanted to kill him. Then Kali Maharaj took shelter of him, said, "Please don't kill me." Then Parikshit Maharaj said, "Okay, I will not kill you because you took shelter, but you cannot remain here in my kingdom. Therefore, O friend of irreligion, you do not deserve to remain in a place where experts perform sacrifices according to truth and religious principles for the satisfaction of Supreme Personality of Godhead. This should not be disturbed. It is the duty of Kshatriya to protect Dharma. There should be no adharma. The duty of Kshatriya is not only to protect citizens from wild animals or from other countries attacking like that. That is not Kshatriya. They are kings who are fighting with each other for material things. But Kshatriya means he has to protect Dharma also. So that is why he told, here they are doing sacrifices according to truth. Means Supreme Lord is true, so we have to worship him. We have to sacrifice everything for him. So this should not be disturbed. So you cannot remain here. So not only the king will, means Kshatriya will remove disturbance to someone's material, like body is attacked or something, he will protect. No, he has to protect Dharma. That is more important than protecting the body, because if there is no Dharma, then human is not a human. He is same as animal. According to Vedic Shastra, a human being who is not accepting Dharma, means worship of Supreme Lord, is no better than animal, because only doing same four things: eating, sleeping, mating, defending. But in human birth we have this opportunity to accept Dharma. For this reason we got this human birth. Then we also heard in all sacrificial ceremonies, although sometimes a demigod is worshipped, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped because he is the super soul of everyone and exists both inside and outside like the air. Thus it is he only who awards all welfare to the worshipper. It is only Krishna who gives the result of everything. Without his sanction nothing can happen. And it is he who is the Atma of everyone, soul of everyone. That is why you will find in 10th Canto of Bhagavatam and also in Upanishad, also in Vedanta Sutra, that wife is not there to husband because of her will, but because Supreme Lord's will. And wife to husband and parents to children like this. It is because Supreme Lord's will is there, and if he leaves, then everything is finished. So he is the root cause of everything. So our actual relation is with him, that we have to realize in this human birth and worship him. Otherwise we will miss this opportunity. Sutta Uvacha. Parikshitaivam adishtah sakalir jata vepatuh tam udyatassim ahedam Dantapanim Ivodhyatam. Sri Suta Goswami said, the personality of Kali, thus being ordered by Maharaj Parikshit, began to tremble in fear. Seeing the king before him like Yamaraj, ready to kill him, Kali spoke to the king as follows. 1 second. These reactions here. Kalir Uvach. Yatra kva vata vatsyami sarvabhauma tavagyaya lakshaye tatra tatrapi tvam ateshu sharasanam. O your majesty, though I may live anywhere and everywhere under your order, I shall but see you with bow and arrows wherever I look, because Parikshit Maharaj was the ruler of whole world. So everywhere I will go, that he will be fearful of king. Tan me dharma britam shreshta stanam nirdeshtu marhasi yatraiva niyato vatsya atishtam ste nushasanam. Therefore, O chief amongst the protectors of religion, please fix some place for me where I can live permanently under the protection of your government. Suta Uvach. Abhyartitas tada tasmai stanani kalaya dadau dyutam panam striyam suna yatra dharmas chatur vida. Suta Goswami said, Maharaj Parikshit, thus being petitioned by the personality of Kali, gave him permission to reside in places where gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter were performed. These 4 places he gave to him. There Kali is there. Irreligion and quarrel and everything. That is why one has to avoid these 4 places if he wants to worship Krishna. It cannot go one with another. It is in Shastra. It is not that I heard someone saying someone made this up. No, it is in Shastra. But you will find some so-called gurus, they will not explain these rules to disciples, being afraid that if they will explain this, then they will go away. They will not want to follow and they will not want to take initiation, so they will lose. So they prefer to not explain so that they can gather more disciples for the sake of their material benefits. But a real guru, his target is only to satisfy Krishna. He wants to bring jivas to the service of Krishna, to satisfy Krishna and out of compassion for the jivas. So he's not interested in other things. So he wants to satisfy. That is why he will explain these things are prohibited. It will displease Krishna. You have to give this up. You have to promise. Then you can get. Otherwise, how Krishna will be satisfied? A real guru is giving initiation for the service of Krishna, not for any other ulterior desires. So our Gurudev told there is a difference between so-called guru and real guru. Real guru only wants to satisfy Krishna, so he will only prescribe service of Krishna. To those who are willing to serve Krishna, he will do. Others, he will help them to accumulate sukriti somehow or other, or those who are hostile, he will avoid. but he will not give initiation or instructions to someone who is not ready to follow positive prescriptions of Shastra, what we have to do for Krishna and which activities we have to give up for the service of Krishna. You will find also in Rupa Goswami's Bhakti-Rasamrita Sindhu, Krishna Pritya Bhogotyag. One, for the sake of service of Krishna, Krishna Pritya, for his satisfaction, one has to give up all bhog, all enjoyment. And this is there inside in explanation. So here I will read the commentary by Srila Sai Maharaj. The basic principles of irreligiosity, such as pride, prostitution, intoxication, and falsehood, counteract the four principles of religion, namely austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. The personality of Kali was given permission to live in four places particularly mentioned by the king, namely the place of gambling, the place of prostitution, the place of drinking, and the place of animal slaughter. Srila Jiva Goswami directs that drinking against the principles of scriptures, such as the Sautramani Yagya, association with women outside marriage, and killing animals against the injunctions of scriptures are irreligious. In the Vedas, two different types of injunctions are there for the pravritas, or those who are engaged in material enjoyment, and for the nivritas, or those who are liberated from material bondage. Nivriti mark and pravriti mark. Different type of qualifications. So here further it will be explained. The Vedic injunction for the pravritas is to gradually regulate their activities towards the path of liberation. Therefore, for those who are in the lowest stage of ignorance and who indulge in wine, woman, and flesh, drinking by performing Sautramani Yagya, association of women by marriage, and flesh eating by sacrifices are sometimes recommended. Recommended for them, and also not in the sense of encouraging that, but because they have these tendencies to all the time drink. So Shastra says, okay, you should drink only on every fortnight after you do that sacrifice. Then you can drink. So that is to help them regulate, but ultimate purpose is to totally remove them. And it is meant only for pravritas, those who are on that stage, not for all. That is why one has to follow Vedic Shastra under the guidance of bona fide guru, not just anything in Veda, everything is good, so I will just follow everything. No, there are different instructions for different people on different stages. What is progressive for one is not for another. So here, by marriage, yes, and by marriage only, and some sacrifices of animal also is allowed. The Vedas do not encourage violence, but it is meant to regulate those who are so much violent that they will gradually come out from that tendency. Our Gurudev also told, someone is habituated to drink wine and he's drinking every day. So first you try to encourage him that he should not drink every day, but every second day. Then he will think, okay. If you tell him, you stop, then he will not be able to accept. But if you say every second day, then he knows, okay, I can drink. Then he's peaceful every second day. Then after some time, you tell him to drink only once in a day, and once in a week. Still, he will have that in mind, okay, I can drink. But he will not drink every day or every second day, but it will be, if you tell him you stop totally, he cannot remain. Then you tell him you should drink only once in a month. Still he will think, okay, I can drink, so it is still acceptable for him. So in this way, Shastra wants to regulate someone gradually so that he can totally give up. But not meant that you will tell to some sannyasi who is in Nivriti Marg that you should drink alcohol once in a week. It is not meant for him. So Shastra has to be applied according to eligibility. So bona fide guru is necessary. Such recommendations in the Vedic literature are meant for a particular class of men and not for all. But because they are injunctions of the Vedas for particular types of persons, such activities by the Pravritas are not considered adharma, because following Shastra. One man's food may be poison for others. Similarly, what is recommended for those in the mode of ignorance may be poison for those in the mode of goodness. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhu therefore affirms that recommendations in the scriptures for a certain class of men are never to be considered adharma or irreligious. But such activities are factually adharma and they are never to be encouraged. The recommendations in the scriptures are not meant for the encouragement of such adharma, but for regulating the necessary adharma gradually toward the path of dharma. You will find also Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Krishna Samhita. He told, for some men, it will be progressive to have 5 wives in this life. 5. Because in previous life, he was maybe like a monkey and he was all the time in sexual activity with female monkeys, continuously 20, 30, how. So now it is progressive for him to have 5. But for someone else, it is good to have 1. It is progressive for him. He should not have 5, only 1. But for some, there is no necessity. They will completely engage in the service of Krishna. So it is different according to level. But any type of regulation in any stage which is meant to help that person progress upwards is beneficial for him. Following in the footsteps of Maharaj Parikshit, it is the duty of all executive heads of states to see that the principles of religion, namely austerity, cleanliness, mercy and truthfulness, are established in the state. Good luck. No, they themselves are totally engaged in all these 4 sinful activities. They're taking drugs, that hard drugs they're taking. The heads of the state, they're taking. And when there was a suggestion that all those who are in high government positions, at least once in a year, they should be tested if there is any that hard drug in them, they refused such law because it is too much like invading their privacy. The point is we have to pay taxes for police to chastise those who are selling drugs, forbidden drugs, all these things. But these same people who are engaging police and other and to enforce law and everything, they themselves are taking. So what is the, why they don't want to be tested? You did nothing, so what is wrong? You show, but they refused. So what to speak of meat eating and these things? So of course it is duty of Kshatriya to real Kshatriya to protect dharma and to remove adharma. But in Kali Yuga now it is very difficult to expect this from them, those who are heads of the state. So heads of the states to see that the principles of religion, namely austerity, cleanliness, mercy and truthfulness, are established in the state. This should be established. And that the principles of irreligion, namely pride, illicit female association or prostitution, intoxication and falsity, good luck, are checked by all means. They are the ones who are spreading falsity for their own purpose. How they will protect this? They themselves are doing this. And to make the best use of a bad bargain, the personality of Kali must be transferred to places of gambling, drinking, prostitution, and slaughterhouses, if there are any places like that. Those who are addicted to these irreligious habits may be regulated by the injunctions of the scriptures. In no circumstance should they be encouraged by any state. Nowadays, they are being paid by government, paid to spread falsehood. So what to speak of trying to establish dharma and to remove adharma. They themselves are with the tax paid, the tax money. They are paying people to spread falsehood for their own selfish interest. They should not, in no circumstances should they be encouraged by any state. But it is our misfortune that it is encouraged. In other words, the state should categorically stop all sorts of gambling, drinking, prostitution, and falsity. The state which wants to eradicate corruption by majority may introduce the principles of religion in the following manner. 1. 2 compulsory fasting days in a month, if not more. That is austerity. Means Ekadashi fasting, like Ambarish Maharaj. In his kingdom, it was compulsory to fast on Ekadashi. Not only that, it was compulsory to hear Harikatha. Mandate. It was mandate. You must hear Harikatha. But by that, they were all happy. So much happy, you will find in Bhagavatam. They were getting transcendental bliss, so they had no desire to go to Svargaloka. Generally, people, they want to increase their enjoyment. They are doing all things to go to heavenly planets to get more enjoyment, but they had no such desire. because they got higher taste when there was a fight between Britrasur and Indra. I'm saying in Bengali pronunciation, Indra. So the Britrasur said, "You kill me." Because he was thinking, I will be liberated, I will go to my Supreme Lord, I'm being cursed by Parvati. So that weapon was made under the guidance of Vishnu from the bones of Dadichi Muni. So you kill me. But Indra was thinking, why he's telling this? No one wants to die. Surely there is some trick there. If I will throw that weapon, he knows how to retaliate with that same weapon. So in this way he was thinking, although that was not in the mind of Vritasur. But he was thinking like that based on his own thinking, because he is like that. There is one verse, one who is lusty, he will see everyone in this world, they are lusty. Everyone there going after lust only. One who himself desires more and more money, he will see everyone in this world, they are only running after money. Even sadhus and everyone. And one who wants name and fame, he sees everyone is working only for name and fame, even sadhus, everyone. Because his eyes are like that, so he's thinking in his own way about others. It is not true, but he is perceiving like that. And devotee of Narayan or Krishna, Supreme Lord, he thinks everyone is serving Krishna. Either directly or indirectly, everyone is serving Krishna except me. I am not serving him properly. Everyone else is serving, but I am not. So here Indra was thinking, why is this? Then Vritasur understood, he does not understand. He said, you kill me, I know about that weapon, you kill me. If you kill me, you will be free of your worries. I am your greatest enemy and I will go to Supreme Lord. You kill me. Then Indra was thinking, oh, how he's speaking. He's a devotee. I'm devotee of Supreme Lord, but he's also a devotee. But he's speaking in this way. He wants to die. So he's a better devotee than me. So surely Krishna will give him heaven, not to me. This Indra was thinking, but Vritasur was not thinking this. Then he said, you don't think about heaven. Vritasur said, he will not give to me, he will give to you. Because Krishna, out of compassion, he will not give this worldly property because that will cause so much anxiety and quarrel and so many things. We will come to that verse. Only in brief I am speaking, remembering. To those whom Krishna loves, he will not give this worldly property. So he will not give to me, he will give to you. You are a devotee, but you want this kingdom. You are worshipping Krishna to keep that heavenly kingdom for that reason. But I'm not such devotee, so you kill me. Why you are hesitating? Then Indra again was becoming afraid. He's such a great devotee, he does not want anything. Surely Krishna will give to him. So all the time he was thinking according to he could not perceive that there may be someone who has really actual devotion to Krishna. He cannot perceive. It is beyond his comprehension. He can only perceive that enjoyment and yes, worship of Krishna also, but for enjoyment. But cannot perceive there can be pure devotion. Then he did not want to kill. Then Vritasur said, this is useless, this Indra. what is the use of praying to him to kill? He's always thinking in his own way. He does not perceive the reality. Incapable and don't want to see. Then this Vritasur prayed to Shankarshan, Supreme Lord. And Shankarshan appeared there. And Shankarshan asked him, what do you want? I can give you Dhruva Loka. I can give you liberation. I can give you mystic powers. I can give you money, sovereign of this world, everything I can give you. What do you want? He said, I don't want anything. I only want your service. Don't want any. This is to show the glory of his devotee. And then Vritrasur also was praying that I am not such a great devotee that I can pray for your association, that you should come to me, that I can serve you. I am not such a great devotee. So it is only my request, that according to my karma, I may move in this world. What is going to happen according to my prarabdha karma, let it happen. I don't mind that. Only one request I have, let me have friendship with your devotees. Means association with your devotees, because then I can have devotion to you, I can get your service. So he did not pray for anything, even not praying for liberation or any high thing or whatever, no. He was only praying for devotion. Mahaprabhu also, Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatat Bhakti Rahoitu Kitai. Birth after birth. I may be born, I have no problem with that. According to my karma, but let me have devotion to you. And when I think maybe Kulashekar or someone, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he rephrased it. Kito janma ho jatha tu adas, bahirmukha brahma janma nahiyash. I may be born as an insect, but let me have devotion to you. I have no desire to be born as Brahma, being averse to you. Brahma is highest birth, highest planetary system. And in that song, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Poshu pokhi hoye thaki swarge bani roye, tava bhakti rohu bhakti vinoda hridaya. I may be born as a beast or a bird or animal or whatever. I may be in hell or heaven or wherever. Poshu pokhi hoye thaki swarge bani roye. In hell or heaven, I don't mind. Tava bhakti rohu bhakti vinoda hridaya. But it is my request, let me have devotion to you. That is pure devotion. So that is highest type of bliss. That is why these residents of kingdom of Ambarish Maharaj, they, by hearing Harikatha, they had no desire to go to Svarga. No desire. Because they already have better thing. So here Sai Maharaj is saying, even from the economic point of view, such 2 fasting days in a month in the state will save tons of food. And the system will also act very favorably on the general health of the citizens. It is healthy also to fast on Ekadashi. According to moon, that phases are there. So on Ekadashi, moon will, water will be attracted. So if you take grains, that will harm your health. So you should not take grains. It is healthy also. Second thing, there must be compulsory marriage of young boys and girls attaining 24 years of age and 16 years age respectively. Boy 24, girl 16, 8 years difference. There is no harm in co-education in the schools and colleges, provided the boys and girls are duly married, and in case there is an intimate connection between a male and female student, they should be married properly without illicit relation. The Divorce Act is encouraging prostitution, and this should be abolished. 3. The citizens of the state must give in charity up to 50% of their income for the purpose of creating a spiritual atmosphere in the state or in human society, both individually and collectively. They should preach the principles of Bhagavatam by karma yoga or doing everything for the satisfaction of the Lord. B. Regular hearing of SRIMAD Bhagavatam from authorized persons or realized souls. C. Chanting of the glories of the Lord congregationally or at home or at places of worship. D. Rendering all kinds of service to Bhagavatas, means pure devotees, engaged in preaching Srimad Bhagavatam. E. Residing in a place where the atmosphere is saturated with God consciousness. If the state is regulated by the above process, naturally there will be God consciousness everywhere. This is very good, but unfortunately in Kali Yuga, in a mass way and in an official way, it is impossible to implement. You can implement in some oases, like temples or some pure householders like that. There you can implement, but in Kali Yuga, in mass, it is not. Only if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes like he did, or some empowered preacher, then it is possible to have more mass, but otherwise it is very difficult. But one should not be discouraged. One should make some oases. But first, I have to become like that. I have to give up all these nonsense activities and accept these pure activities, Ekadashi, Harikatha, service to devotees, all this I have to accept and encourage others also. Gambling of all description, even speculative business enterprise, is considered to be degrading, and when gambling is encouraged in the state, there is a complete disappearance of truthfulness. Allowing young boys and girls to remain unmarried more than the above mentioned ages and licensing animal slaughterhouses of all descriptions should be at once prohibited. The flesh eaters may be allowed to take flesh as mentioned in the scriptures and not otherwise, like in that Yagya and Kshatriyas yesterday I told. When there is no wartime, Kshatriyas, they are occasionally allowed to go hunting for practicing, to keep their martial arts that they are practicing, shooting arrows and like this. So in those righteous hunting, they were allowed to take that meat, but only they and only at that time. It is not for all. It is not for Brahmins, for Vaishyas, or for others. That only, as that is mentioned in scripture. Intoxication of all description, even smoking cigarettes, chewing tobacco, or drinking of tea, that real tea, black tea, green tea, must be prohibited. So this we have to apply first individually, and then how much it is possible also to encourage others. Punascha yacha manaya jata rupa madat prabhu taton ritam madam kamam rajo vairam cha panchamam. The personality of Kali asked for something more, and because of his begging, the king gave him permission to live where there is gold, because wherever there is gold, there is also falsity, intoxication, lust, envy, and enmity. Because Kali Maharaj said to Parikshit Maharaj, you gave me these 4 places, but they are not there in your kingdom, so where I will stay? At that time, it was beginning of Kali Yuga. When Parikshit Maharaj was here, there were no places like this. So he said, where I will stay? You give me 1 more place. I have no place to stay. Then he said, okay, in gold. So one who has money, he will be inclined to all these things. And for more, you can see also this. The rich people, they are very rich people. Then they are having some islands where the other rich people and important people, they come, and there is prostitution there, like this. So it is going on. Those who are rich, if they are not devotees, they become inclined to indulge in all these 4 prohibited activities, sinful activities. And where there is gold, also falsity, intoxication, lust, envy, and enmity. Everything one can see in this world, everything what is in Bhagavatam 5,000 years ago, everything we can see, observe now, directly. Even a gold standard exchange in currency, and currency is bad. Gold standard currency is based on falsehood because the currency is not on a par with the reserved gold. This also we see all the time. They are making this. Yes, I think you know this all. It is Kali Yuga. But there is one good quality in Kali Yuga, that by chanting Harinam purely, one can get ultimate goal of life. So under the guidance of bona fide devotee, we have to chant, give up all these 4 sinful activities, and chant Harinam, follow Ekadashi. Then we can be rescued from Kali Maharaj, and we can also help others. Amuni pancha stanani hyadharma prabhava kali autareyena datani nyavasat tan nidesha kri. Thus the personality of Kali, by the directions of Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Uttara, was allowed to live in those 5 places. This gambling, another meaning is also, means it falls into this category. One should not do any dishonest profession by some illegal means and some sinful means that he's earning his livelihood. That is also falls into the category of gambling. And in meat eating, all kinds of violence and intoxication, all kinds of intoxication and illicit sex connection also, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, you will find in his article. It means also to be too much attached to your wife. They may be married, but if too much attachment and unrestricted some enjoyment, that also falls into category of illicit sex connection. You will find, because that is obstacle to bhajan. Purpose is, one has to do bhajan, serve Krishna. So whatever is obstacle, that has to be given up. Otherwise we will lose. We are thinking, if I will give up these things, then I will lose. But you will gain. You will not lose. What you will lose suffering. Reaction to that. That suffering you will lose. But you will actually gain. You will be free from Maya and engage in the service of Krishna, with whom we have actual relation. Athaitani na seveta babushu purusha kvachit, bubushu purusha kvachit, visheshato dharmashilo raja lokapatir guru. Therefore, whoever desires progressive well-being, especially kings, religionists, public leaders, brahmanas and sannyasis, should never come in contact with the four above mentioned irreligious principles. So whoever desires progressive well-being, so we will not lose anything by giving up these things. What we will lose is suffering, and we will gain well-being by engaging in the service of Krishna. Vrishasya nashtam strin padan tapa shauchan dvayamiti prati sandadha ashvasya mahimcha samavardhayat. Thereafter, the king re-established the lost legs of the personality of religion, the bull, and by encouraging activities, he sufficiently improved the condition of the earth. That is proper kshatriya. So nowadays you will not find such kshatriyas, but those who are devotees, either sannyasis or household devotees, those who are pure devotees, they are doing this kind of protection of dharma in this world. They will encourage people to accept service of Krishna and to remove this. That is why we are saying Maharaj, their king, they have power to subdue these sinful activities. They can help us. Sa esha etarhyadyasta, like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. He was really fighting against cheating religion also. Those who are outwardly saying we are dharmic, but they were doing adharma activities in the name of or in the garb of dharma. He was rescuing them also and protecting others from being misled by such people. So he has that power, very powerful. Sa esha etarhyadyasta asanam parti vochitam pita maheno panyastam ragya aranyam vivikshata aste dhuna sarajarshi Kauravendra Shriyolasan Gaja Hvaya Mahabhagash Chakravarti Brihat Shrava. The most fortunate Emperor Maharaj Parikshit, who was entrusted with the kingdom of Hastinapur by Maharaj Yudhishthir, when he desired to retire to the forest, is now ruling the world with great success due to his being glorified by the deeds of the kings of the Kuru dynasty. The most fortunate Emperor Maharaj Parikshit, who was entrusted with the kingdom of Hastinapur by Maharaj Yudhishthir when he desired to retire to the forest, Yudhishthira Maharaj went to forest. He is now ruling the world with great success due to his being glorified by the deeds of the kings of the Kuru dynasty. There is only one more verse in this chapter. I will read. Itam bhutanu bhavoyam abhimanyu sutonripa yasya palayata kshonim yuyam satre dikshita. Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Abhimanyu, is so experienced that by dint of his expert administration and patronage, it has been possible for you to perform a sacrifice such as this. Here also Sai Maharaj says, the Brahmanas and the Sannyasis are expert in the spiritual advancement, whereas the Kshatriyas or the ministers are expert in the material peace and prosperity of human society. Both of them are the pillars of happiness, and therefore they are meant for full cooperation for common welfare. No, this tomorrow I will read. This is an important commentary. I don't want to fast. Tomorrow is also the appearance day of our previous Acharya of our mat, Srila Bhagavat Sai Maharaj. So we'll hear about him, and then further also Bhagavatam.